Don't touch it. Hello. You are early arrivers if you are here already. I'm sitting in my seat. I am excited. This is the Maga exit countdown. We are 15 weeks away from the election. Countdown. We are 15 weeks away from the election. We are 15 weeks away. Shh. Okay. I told you that was going to be funny, right? Funny. I'm so funny. Okay. Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm Kirsten Peck. I am the semi-retired high school teacher. I kind of ran away from my high school, and meanwhile, I just have to teach a few more classes. It's about civics, it's about politics, and it's about English and reading skills, believe it or not. And so I am the author of a book called Betrayed by Trump. It's a question mark. I wrote this last year when President Trump and Elon Musk had a falling out, and I knew that betrayal was gonna be the theme for the president. I just knew that. I wrote the book, okay? Meanwhile, all of this has been unfolding, and I have been seeing the search terms coming up. People are feeling betrayed. They're not sure what to do. Your identity, it's a political identity loss, is what the search terms say. Trump voter regret, Trump voters upset, voters furious over, et cetera, okay? So this is 15 weeks to voting midterms tonight, right now, 15 weeks, which I'm excited about. It's a little more than 100 days. And this is the political watch party, okay? I am inviting you to start collecting notes. I grabbed a file folder so that people could put notes in it. You're gonna have to keep track of the progress, okay? 15 weeks, you're keeping track, okay? I have this political watch party, okay? It is a combination of Stoic wisdom, ancient philosophy, and practices that are proven to work, and modern politics. It's mashed up, okay? High school teacher, that's me. Hero boosting, that's what I do. Little upgrades, little tricks, little tips, things that you should know to boost your efficiency, boost your power. That's what I do. I am on the best life quest. Go check out the other channel. There's so much going on, okay? Meanwhile, the book is all of $10. And right now, today, it's free on Amazon. So if you're checking me live, go check it out live on Amazon, free right now. Download it, EPUB, whatever it is, get it on your device. Get those questions started, okay? The beautiful part is that when you answer these types of questions, there's no wrong answers. Whatever it is that you genuinely believe in your heart, in the depths of your soul, be respectful of that with yourself and be honest with yourself about that, okay? That is part of these new code and these new things that we're doing here, okay? I have a Maga compass. Check it out. It's a private, confidential way for you to test yourself. You can go learn all about it. Check it out at the website, betrayedbytrump.org. Let me start pointing to those here, okay? A new code, respect and truth, respecting ourselves, giving respect, putting it out, because then it will multiply, okay? with the compass. The questions are really simple. How are you feeling now about your commitment with MAGA, about your membership in the political movement? If you're not feeling really great about it, that would score a 0. And if you are still feeling great about it, that's great. Then you can continue on in the party. This isn't really the video for you, okay? I'm talking about the people I want to help who are struggling, because I know how difficult it is when you've made some decisions and you have to kind of change them, okay? One of these things is being able to test it and just be like, how stressed am I? Am I to the point where I have to do something because it is kind of gripping at my soul? Stuff isn't what was promised. Then here's a focus to pivot course. Also here, free. 6 quick episodes explains all of this so that you will have better focus. You'll be able to pivot, okay? We are keeping score. You're keeping the score. That's why you got to take the notes, okay? We've done follow the money, where I am breaking this down because it is a money trail of deception and coercion and profiteering. And so we're following the money. We're also talked about the loyalty trap, and that trust, that test of loyalty that he makes on everybody every day, and that you should know all of these plays. And so I have made a series of videos of all the history of all of this kind of corruption and stuff, and I know the plays. Okay, finally. Okay, you ready for exit 15? Because I got a big showdown here on exit 15. Okay, catch my breath. Let me catch my breath. Okay, first up, I have my own red hat. I'm gonna start, I know red hat is a thing, and so I've got one, and it's about the book, Betrayed by Trump. And if you're feeling betrayed by Trump and you need a red hat, I have some, okay? Number 1. Okay, I say that because I'm gonna have to pick up the camera and put some focus on this a second. All right, here we go. Let me move the camera. Okay, this episode, caught on camera. I want to talk about the World Cup. Just to recap a little bit of what has been happening, what is going on here in politics, and the idea here of there being winners and losers and victims. Yeah, because, and then we're gonna get to the gangs and the cults. That's gonna come over here on this side. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, here's where I'm at. Bring this in, I need some effects. I'm making my own camera effects. Here we go. The World Cup. Yes, wasn't that kind of like some bread and circus? We've talked about the bread and circus. If you watched the Rome video, you saw that episode. You know that the entertainment factor of the Colosseum, let me get this right. The Colosseum and the gladiators and the sports idea that Rome could be controlled if the people were entertained and sort of fed. And it worked for a while, it really did. The Roman Empire was quite vast, and yet that's also part of how it fell, was because it was so corrupt and it was so big and so out of control, and that there weren't people involved with running it because they were all watching the circus. So that's some history on that one. Okay, to the World Cup. Caught on camera. Caught on camera. Did you see those pictures of the game Sunday night? This is where Sunday afternoon, this is what we're talking about. Because winners, shout out to Spain. They played a fierce game. The Europeans play their own different kind of soccer or football than the Latin Americans do from South America. Argentina plays a different style of soccer. It's different. It's two different styles. And so, yes, there's gonna be a winner. There was a winner. Spain won. And shout out, because a lifetime of training went into every single one of those athletes. They spend their focus, their motivation, their drive. They never stop. That's how they are the champions. That's how that works, And so the sad part about that is that the other team, Argentina, is going to have to lose. But they played their best, but they just didn't score. They played their best. They played their style. They put their heart in. But at the end of the time, when it goes down, they lost. And the part that I want you to think about a little bit as we're doing this values judging here is they didn't win this time. And that if they go back and they keep practicing and that the legacy of Argentina remains solid, that they have a championship team, obviously, that they are the winners. I mean, they're still winners. They won the whole East, they won this whole half. But what happened, and the part that I just shook my head as it happened, they turned their back on Spain to be in this oh no, we have to have some excuse. We have to be some sort of a victim that the refs weren't fair and that it wasn't right and all of this, all those excuses. And so they exercised their right to turn their back on the camera, or they made their statement, or whatever that all was. The politics of it all in the World Cup of FIFA, I'm not versed on, but I obviously saw them turn their backs on the other team. What kind of sportsmanship is that? What's with that? And so to this, isn't President Trump and isn't Maga always the victim? And didn't he pull all that stuff with them last week? We were talking about that before. I have to calm down because it's unbelievable how people will continue to support him. And yet I see search terms of people saying that they want to get out. So if you want to get out, come talk to me, share, subscribe. I'm here. This is a different type of political commentary. I'm giving it an academic. I'm giving it the Stoics. Okay? So here I am. Yeah, here's my scorecard. Okay. Bread and Circus. We were hosting the sport tournament. We were hosting it. That's global politics. The whole entire world was looking at us, and we're the hosts. And so many people loved it. So many Europeans, they apparently fell in love with ranch dressing. Go figure. Playing in the games, our own sportsmanship. Yes, our own sportsmanship, that was it. And our legacy and our reputation. And so what I want you to do here is for you to write in your thoughts on this. How do you feel about it? Is this okay with you? Is winning everything at the price of at any and all costs? Are you willing to do absolutely anything to be declared the winner? Is that your values? I don't know. It's not mine. I follow the rules. I like the rules. I work hard pushing every one of those rules. I'm trying to learn the rules of YouTube. Yeah. So, okay, is this how you play the game? Because these are the quality of the results. This is what we've been talking about in the show, in my Maga Compass and in my whole program. Okay? So that's my seriousness deep dive into the week that was, because it was sports and it was politics literally mixed up together. Okay. Now, to the next part of this. For the next topic of conversation, it is still this deception and the tricks of playing people. It's still the topic that we're talking about. And I'm still giving you graphic organizers to help you figure this out. Okay. And as a teacher, I want you to go get some paper and a pencil and jot down these couple of drawings that I'm going to show you. Stop the video when you need to so that you can really check yourself. I want you to be fair and honest with yourself in your own reconciling of the situation, okay? And I want to make sure I say that straight on the camera and genuinely as the teacher, because it's true. And one of the things we used to do in school was you have to debate both sides. So I'm going to write that down to myself because I can debate both sides and I want to hear both sides. I want the conversation. Let me check. I got somebody watching me. Okay. Graphic organizers first. Okay. The first one is my favorite. One of my favorites. It's called the 4 A's. So let's go with the 4 A's. Here we go. Here we go. This is so simple. Draw simple squares or a line here and a line here to make 4 boxes. Okay? With me so far, you got 4 boxes. These are called the 4 A's because each box is a place for you to write your ideas down. So in the first group here is the assume box. This is everything that you already know. This is your background knowledge. This is what you assume that you know about the topic. In this box, you put your ask. What questions would you ask the person, the author, or the expert about the topic? And then when we go through the presentation, either what do you agree with them or what do you not agree with them? You want to argue. Okay? So that's the graphic organizer. And the topic is gangs versus cults versus Maga. And so here's another one that you could draw quickly and easily. This is a scorecard. And my scorecard, you could just kind of check mark it if you want as we go. You don't have to write all these lines and all this stuff really, but you'll see I'm going to go through the topics and then you're going to think about it. And really, it's about your exit. This is 15. Is this your exit? You gonna be out of here? Because we're voting. And yes, this is about your political identity. And if people have tied it so much to MAGA and Trump, voting 2026 in November is 15 weeks away. Okay? So I'm gonna talk on these topics. We're going to go gangs versus cults. Okay? So let me get this set back up again here on the table. And this is going to be another one of those game shows sort of episodes. Awesome. Anybody looking for me? Not really. All right. Beautiful world. Thank you, beautiful world. Let me just confirm here. Yes. There's the book. That's the book on Amazon. It's $10. Today it's free. $10 on Amazon. All right, here we go. The fabulous, crazy teacher here. Here's my question. Because people think that it is a political movement, but I'm going to tell you, I think it's something different, okay? And as we go down through this here, I am not going to hold this. I don't want to be on camera. I don't like being on camera, people. All right, here we go. You decide. And yes, this is my very funny looking flip charts. I live in the jungle. Okay, you decide. The difference between a gang and a cult. Alrighty. And there's 5 different ways that they are organized here. The first being leadership. And so leadership, this is President Trump and Maga 26. The midterms are coming. There's many governor races. And of course, the entire congressional house is up for election every 2 years. Some of the senators are up for election. Check out your states. Governors. Okay, meanwhile, gang, if it is your leadership, if it is a gang, they use force. And the people that are in it are often gangsters. And if it is a cult, then that is typically done by a prophet and they have followers. And so consider, does it seem like it might be a gang or a cult? Or are you cool by it? If you love him, he's great, carry on. Next one, the focus. This is about their purpose and goals. Why do they exist? What are they offering? What's their deal? Well, the gang here, they often are offering protection. They are dominating a territory. They are often mostly underground and illegal, hidden, secretive, because they're illegal. Gangs, what they do, extortion. Cults, meanwhile, actually tend to be more on the nonprofit side. Of a 501c3, they're worshiping one particular leader. They are often, though, the same kind of thing. They're both about power and control. They want to power and control. Why did you join recruiting? This is the recruiting question. If you are in MAGA now, why are you in MAGA now? Because most of the gangs recruit from marginalized people who've given up hope, the poor people struggling in the inner cities, in the areas that don't have hope. And the cult tends to be more to the wealthy side, seeking meaning, people that want someone to explain life to them. Alrighty, how about control? Well, are you controlled by MAGA? If it's a gang, well, those are more physical control types of things, which now is turning into voting tricks and threats on the physical side. Or the cult, well, the cult tends to do more mental sorts of enforcement and control, which gets me to the bully in chief and the fact that he primaried out the senator from Texas. So that's kind of a mental thing, isn't it? And my MAGA compass is sitting there in the middle to help you figure this out. Next one here, visibility. Yes. So this one's got me fired up, and why I'm onto this being a gang, frankly, is because of those ski masks and the khakis and everybody walking around Washington, D.C. on the 4th of July. Gangs have signs, they wear tattoos and hoods and flags, and they're very proud of their gang affiliations. Where a cult tends to be a little bit more hidden. They're more to the whistles. They say things like treason and traitors. It's what they used to say in the past. Nowadays, they're saying they're eating the pets. So hidden codes of things they're saying. Did you see Secretary Hegseth today throwing down a bunch of stuff of those hidden codes? Visibility. The commonality here, the reason we're voting November 3rd, I'm focusing on this. All of these all blend together. The gang says, well, it's us versus them. The gang says there's initiation rituals. You have to do the things in order to qualify that you belong to one of us. And the cult tends to do a little bit of isolation and separating you from people who don't believe that they do. And a lot of money is involved with costs, of high costs of that. Because, yeah, they tend to be a little bit more on the rich side to begin with. So, I have two more things that I want to add to this as you're now scoring these up. The gang. I got an extra one here on the gang. The protection racket, you know, the Department of Justice and the FBI are sort of being hijacked on the side of the gang, where the attorney now is the attorney for the guy and the attorney, and they're letting out all the convicts, and if you're in the gang, then you're free. Well, the problem with that is, where are there any laws when anybody's going to get in trouble for anything? What's that about? And to the cult side, adding in my cult factor here, on a control, yeah, you know, that reminds me, the cult side here reminds me of domestic abuse shelters. And spousal abuse and domestic violence, where people are trapped in this mental idea that he loves me, she loves me, they're the only ones. That domestic abuse side of this is another example of people taking advantage of you and manipulating you. And that's not right. It's just not right. It's not. So around the world we go. Here I am back in the magic seat. See if I can get this. All right, here we go. You're caught on camera. You've got your organizer notes. Got your organizer. Backside. Here we go. Here's my wrap up. And you know, in the wrap up, let me get this squared away. I'm asking you to consider. Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. I have to put on my crown. It's crown time. Here's why. This is difficult. Okay? This is difficult. I know it's difficult. Let me get this on my head. I know it's difficult. It's difficult. Okay. And I have some fun tricks and some fun things that can help us get through it. Okay. And so I hope that you're joining me here. Come back, subscribe, share with your friends. This is my wrap up because I'm asking you to consider. This is not preachy. This is not screaming. I'm not yelling. I'm asking you to consider something, and I'm using every power tool I have, okay? And this one is your legacy, okay? I'm asking you just to consider about your legacy and what you're bringing into the world and what you're leaving in the world as politics, because everybody is affected by politics, and even if you don't think you are, because the gas price is based on who you vote for. And the medicine that you get and your access to your health care, whether or not you get health care, is based on who you vote for. So it's time to get people involved in politics if they're not already. Okay? So think about it this way, right? This is this legacy. And I'm asking you to consider, can we have a code of respect and truth? That's it. Respect. I'll pay it forward. Please. I'm honest. My word is good. I follow through on my word. It is. And I know how to separate the propaganda. I'm teaching people how to separate the propaganda because that's what I used to teach in high school. That's what I know how to teach. So, truth with ourselves. This is the big one here. This too, truth with ourselves. I hear people that just are running in a circle that it's what about this and what about that and finger pointing this and they did this, and people have to be able to stop yourself and separate your words, your actions, because that's the only thing that you can control, right? So that's where I'm at with this. And so I'm having these peace talks. Nobel Peace Institute said everybody has to come to the table. All the voices have to be heard. We have to learn how to speak to each other again without screaming at each other. So I'm here Tuesday nights. Come back. Tell your friends. I'm going to start setting these up in different places. I'm trying to get this going. Okay? Come back to a civics classroom. This is easy. We only have 15 weeks. 15 weeks. And that democracy, and this is me back to my notes, because community building and democracy. This is the roots. I am the roots. This is stoic. And I'm the crown of victory here. The World Cup is swirling. So the common good, that's the purpose. Everybody can be successful. Everybody is smart. I know everybody is smart. I'm a teacher. I know everybody is smart. Come join me. Everybody is smart. Okay. In fact, I'm to the end. I made it to the end. Okay. Here's my cheerleading to the end. Okay. The big drama of the World Cup, pretending to be hurt. The great fall down pretend. That pretending, that stupidity, and let me take off my crown. Okay, let me take off my crown. I need to be balanced. I'm not upset. I'm changing. Gotta change the team. Okay. The play that I want you to leave on this one on is acting dumb, acting stupid, falling down, and then being like, oh, he pushed me. That stuff, that's not working. That's not legacy. Come on. So I have hero thinking. I have the Maga compass. I'm here. It's free. The book's $10 on Amazon. Go get it. Just start the conversation. That's all I'm asking for. I got 15 weeks. We're going to start the conversation. That's it. Countdown. 15 more weeks. 14 starts tomorrow. 14 drops tomorrow. Stuff's dropping all the time. Subscribe, share, follow along, all this stuff. Okay? My last exit here. Yeah. The next week we're doing hero thinking. And we're going big. We're going epic. I'm on this epic path. Okay? Thanks for subscribing, sharing. I love you guys. We're going to figure this out. Okay? Peace out. Peace out.